Let's see.
Cool. So today we're going to do semi-quick stream, not too long, but we're going to get into updates on BerrieDex. Also, we'll take a look at the markets, and then tomorrow there's a big stream planned with a few other people from Berry. We'll see if we can get everybody lined up. Witty, possibly Josh McGruff, and a few other ones. Let me switch over here to the decks and see if everything's coming in on 4K. We were having a lot of issues running everything into YouTube today. If you guys are not following the Berry YouTube, be sure to do so. Head over to the search bar there. Actually, we're going to go ahead and drop that in the chat. Nevermore, if you could grab that for me and drop it in there, we can get everybody subscribed. I've got quite a bit of, where's my face cam here so I can, we've got quite a bit of subscribers on my account because I used to stream quite often. We're going to continue to stream quite often, but let's see if we can get some of that subscribers transferred over to BerrieDex, where Nevermore and a few other team members will be live on a regular basis. I'll be live from here, and then also Twitter. Be sure you have notifications on for that. We've got 178 people watching on my stream. Pretty good. If I could get all of you guys to head over to the BerrieDex account on YouTube. Are you able to find that link?
Yeah.
For the chat?
Yeah, I'll drop it.
Great. And then if I can just get a couple people to confirm the audio's good. I'm going to turn it on real quick. Equalizer looks good. See if all right, we're getting some drop frames. All right, let's get into BerrieDex updates so that way I stop rambling. And if you guys have any questions, drop them in the chat. We covered a lot of this stuff last night when I was streaming, but we'll cover it again. A couple of things is make sure you are using the Berry URL, not the berrie.pro. You can use berrie.pro. But that is a production URL and a backup URL for if the main site ever goes down. So just basic redundancy that some sites or some exchanges should have and usually have. The berrie.pro will be eventually a different version of what you see here, and it'll just have a little bit more advanced features. So make sure you use the Berry URL. What happens if you don't? Wallets like Phantom, who we haven't registered that domain with yet, will pop up and say it's potentially malicious. If you are curious about it, whether it's malicious or not, you can always check to see what you're signing and then compare it against the smart contract that's published. I'll show you where we publish ours here in a moment. But I went ahead and dropped the Berry domain in that chat there. So far, we are testing through our perpetual system through Orderly V2. Right now, you can trade on V1. All trading fees that we collect go to buying Berry and returning to stakers. And we'll give a quick little tour of that here in a moment. So as we wrap up some of this testing on perpetuals, I think over the next couple of days, you'll see this UI that I'm about to, if you're curious about updates, real quick, before I exit off of this welcome module here is updated quite often. And you can take a look at things there. But as we finish rolling out perpetuals, this will be your new interface. For the time being, you can come down here to this little lightning bolt right here, and it'll take you to Perps V1, and that's this version right here. And let me go ahead and so currently, here, let me adjust this to where you guys can see everything there. So currently, if you want to make a trade, let me go ahead and connect my wallet here. It's a very similar process. It prompts you to choose which wallet. We chose Solana right off the bat. And you connect that. You have all of your various markets here, and the entire process will be very similar on V2 here. So right now, what you see, pretty thick liquidity, 18 million on sell side, 19 million on buy side on Bitcoin. That's all currently tradable on this version here that you see. I think by hopefully tomorrow night stream, we can be making some lives, some trades live here on this. But we shall see. I'll roll through some updates today and see if we are ready for full production. Before I go through and just mention a couple of things going on with the DEX and some suggestions and connecting your wallets and things like that. Let me hop over to Nevermore real quick and just let him interject and say hi. I've been rambling without even.
Hey, all right. Good to see everybody. We do have, let's see, we have you and I live on YouTube on BerrieDex, and then on you are live with the Berry platform that we're actually watching right now. So,
yeah, let me
looking
put this
cool.
link to his live stream. It's going to be the same live stream today, but I'm going to put that in the chat for everybody.
Yeah.
And I just realized everything you're seeing, unless I'm screen sharing,
Yep.
only my chat can see that.
Right.
So,
That's what I'm. Yeah. Yeah. No worries.
That's gonna be an issue there. I
So,
think for the time being, we'll just get in the habit of both accounts going live,
yeah.
and we'll work on synchronicity along with Twitter and Kick too, because there is plans to go live on there. All right, let's take a look at BerrieDex real quick. So on my screen, I've got flipped over to the swap page. Currently, if you want to just buy Berry, you can click it and it will preload everything up there. We had some reports yesterday that we weren't getting any routes back for Berry. So what's going to happen is if you try to go too much, like maybe 100,000 there, that's a lot of slippage through our swap service. So it just kind of cuts you off. And currently, there's not a ton of trading activity on Berry. There's some recovery to go through with this new platform launched on being as predictions and perpetuals will bring in quite a bit of fee share. So for the time being, it's gonna limit you to smaller amounts here. So if you do anything near like 5,000, it's gonna stop you. Instead, you can do several $1,000 increments to get to the appropriate size that you want. This is being improved, and probably by tomorrow, those routes, including all of our other routes, will have yet another update. You can do things like swap from USDC on Solana without having to log in, give your ID to a centralized exchange, USDC on Solana to Bitcoin. So if we just queue up like $1 million transaction here, which I like to show, because it's important to show like the actual fee difference here. If you can zoom in just a little bit there, you'll see there's about a $6,000 difference there. It's quite a bit right now. But yeah, swap right over to pretty much any amount. I think if you start to get higher, like maybe 10 million, it's going to limit you because your slippage gets a little crazy. But yeah, not that you would see a lot of people commonly swapping into millions of dollars in Bitcoin. It's just it is there. The ability is there.
Well, and the if people are having trouble with routes too, sometimes it can be slippage, sometimes it can, there's lots of things. So if you have your slippage set to a certain amount on there, there just may not be a route that has that low slippage at the moment. So you can check back.
Yeah, that is correct. Sometimes there is additional routes. So we're continuously adding to this. I think the next upgrade, back to this real quick, is directly trading into some of these Solana pools that don't return really strong routes, such as Berry. Because Berry is on Solana, any kind of aggregate that we set up is going to stop you from getting massive amounts of slippage. So we'll work into that the next couple of days, additional routes on there. Again, make sure that you are using full domain there. Berrie.pro will work, but you will get a warning here when you try to sign with your wallet. Staking, we do distributions approximately every 72 hours. Sometimes it's pushed out a little bit further because there's not a ton of revenue coming in until perpetuals are fully launched. All right, let's take a look at Trading View real quick and take a look at the charts, and we'll switch back over to Barry. We're going to see if we can get a couple other people to join us right now. Everybody's got their own life and their own schedule, and it's the holidays, so we're kind of stringing it along. I've switched over to Trading View Nevermore. I do apologize. We have to figure that part out on your stream.
No, it's all good. I mean, I just have us. I could pull it up as another window here.
This.
So
I can just share.
Oh yeah. If you just share that window, that can work too.
Give me one second. All right, give me 1 second, guys, while I try to find. Yeah, so maybe we just.
Yeah, okay. There we go. I've got. Ooh. Yeah, I got it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Perfect.
Okay, let me share my Trading View back.
It's coming through on both streams, so you're good, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Give it a second to catch up on the YouTube. We should be good now. I'm just in browser on Trading View. All right, let's expand here Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is the ultimate decider on things. Real quick, I'm just going to take this up to the daily, and then I'll switch over to Bitcoin. There's not a lot of strength anywhere across the board. There's been several days of selling with no real rallies out of it. The headlines are not great. I spoke a little bit last night on why I'm not super bullish right now. We'll get into that a little bit right now. And I know Nevermore does a lot of TA himself. I've been trading with him for a lot of years, so feel free to jump in on anything you feel there. Let me turn on some levels. So let me just start like way up high. Like on our monthly, right, we have a small downtrend the last couple of months. Like weekly, there's no strength here. So let's get down to the daily.
Hit me with the yearly. Hit me with the yearly.
Yeah, let's look at the yearly real quick just for the fun of it.
Let's go.
Let's see that 12 months.
Ooh, right. There we go, baby.
Yeah. We got 1 day and an hour left on this.
That's the one.
Yeah. All right. Back down to the daily. This is Binance that I'm pulled up on. So let's take a look.
Yeah, with Bitcoin, I always chart Binance.
For those of you that are new to this stream, my whole thing is technical analysis. However, I feel nowadays technical analysis matters less and less. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of outside forces that aren't visible. We get a lot of headlines, a lot of policy changes from governments, just things in general. And by the way, send Witty an invite to this if you'd like. See if he wants to jump on this.
Oh yeah, he said he got home, but okay.
Okay, so objectively speaking, I look at this daily here and I see just tons and tons of rejections here off of 90,000. I'm just going to reiterate real quickly my views on things. I am not at all bullish until we start to recover and close on the daily above 90,000. There's nothing here for me until we at least recover that level with a daily close above that. Now, sure, it's like a $1,600 difference right now. We could easily recover it and even recover a little bit higher. There's a huge range here, but this is like a range of death right now. It is every time there's any kind of breakout, it's immediately met with some, kind of headline that causes sell pressure or actual sell pressure and unwinding itself on Bitcoin. So I think we really need to see these lower levels tested before we have buyers come in. I tweeted a little bit about this. You can check it out on my Twitter today, but I think a 10 to 20% drop here is not out of the question. The problem is every shorter that's trying to short this up here is getting stopped out if they're using any kind of trade management, any kind of stop loss.
Fuck yeah.
These are horrific areas to try to, like, currently your invalidation point is 90,440 on this chart. So it's like a $2,000 invalidation point. It's not an incredible like loss on a risk reward ratio, but it's a big enough risk appetite that most people, when they're taking their shorts, they're probably going to be putting, let me get down to the 4 hour here. They're probably going to be putting their stop loss like somewhere around there. And this is just generally speaking, everybody that's like shorted here, they got stopped out there. And like the same goes for here, right? So for me, I'm not directionally taking any trades on this, but I do expect 10 to 20% drop on this. So we could have buyers step in at 80,000. There's nothing to indicate to say, oh yes, buyers will certainly step in at 80,000. There's nothing to indicate that buyers will certainly step in at 74,000 or even 70,000. I think a lot of it we have to see and we have to wait until it gets there to see what kind of buy reaction and also what the climate is right now, because we are directly related, directly connected to equities. There's some interesting things going on with commodities and metals right now that'll eventually play out with crypto. So
Hmm.
I think for the time being, you can here in this point of control here on this little VPVR tool that I use. That point of control like needs to hold, but also at 90,000 here in red that we need to get through. So this is like a nice way to visualize everything. If we recover that here on this 4 hour or daily with closes above those order blocks, then you could start to say maybe the trend is trending up. But until then, this is chop, which is a continuation pattern to the downside because our prior trend was down. So, like, one other thing you can look at here is the technicals of it all. So if we look at volume on something like the daily throughout this structure here, this is why I don't think a recovery is in the books. Our OBF doesn't show any life. It's just continually slamming down further. The CMF all throughout this structure is just continually showing sell pressure. And we're not seeing any kind of life on the alpha volume indicator there at the bottom. All three of those are crucial for finding a bottom. Volume precedes price. And if you don't have volume preceding price visible on the charts, then you're not going to have a bottom. What I think we should really look at here is these lower timeframes to see if there's any kind of growth happening that could potentially lead to the daily reversing. So far, not so much. It's all pretty much on par here. We do see the OBV slightly divergent on the last day. So, and what I mean by that is I'm going to mark it on here on this chart. You can see there's a higher high there on the OBV, but a lower low on price, a lower high on price there. And so your volume doesn't so much match your price. What I would expect is over the next day, we rally up probably before the close, which is in a few hours, and we test this 90,000 again, and it will probably be a pretty hard because if we weren't going to do it here, why would we do it now? It's been met with equal sell pressure every time.
I love that.
So I
I
would
love that yellow line right there. That's if you know, for those of you who would love to trade, just wait. You mark that on your own chart. Wait till price goes above it, and then comes back down below it, and then trade that.
right.
That would be that's a
that
perfect spot.
90,440 is a pretty good guide.
Yeah.
You don't have to nail every single bottom to be a profitable trader.
No.
To be honest, profitable traders that have longevity, they use a system, a risk reward. They know they're going to be wrong a majority of the time. If you're a good trader, you can calculate and find a strategy that will keep you profitable, and you're still wrong on your analysis a majority of the time. I think if you take a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio every single time, you can be right something like 33% of the time and still remain profitable. Someone can check that with ChatGPT, but it generally works like that.
I am right 99% of the time. I don't know what you're talking about. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So an easy guide here, and also a guide for myself, is like we recover this 90,000 level. I will check these volume indicators. We see here OBV, CMF indicators I'm familiar with on how they operate, and I will see if we really do truly have some divergences here that aren't matching price. And as a trader, when the price is not matching the technicals of it, such as volume, that's your advantage. That's when you take a trade because the price will correct. You can see here I'm on the hourly now, and that divergence we saw on the 4 hour is not so apparent here. It matches. So I would say even that 4 hour retest of 90,000 because of the small OBV divergence isn't really going to play out, because on the hourly here, we don't really see any kind of explosion in volume off of the OBV here. It should cross this little yellow trend line if it's going to continue up and cross that there. Not that it can't, but if we go down to here to like the 15-minute, it still doesn't look great. It looks quite divergent and really dumpy. So we do see some buy pressure building here. See, these are the beauty of these indicators. You can see if I zoom way in here, you can see alpha volume has some pretty extreme spikes here on this 5-minute time frame. Keep in mind we're on a 5-minute, and then the CMF overall shows some nice buy pressure. If you're interested in learning how these indicators work, you can head over to my TradingView. Just go to TradingView and search Nick Core under authors, and you'll find a bunch of articles I've written on these indicators over time that people like. Like even if I click here, you'll see to this day, like 14 hours ago, people are still reading this article from years ago. Nearly 10 years ago, I wrote that article. So take some time, go read up on those things if you're interested in what I'm talking about here. But back to this on the 5-minute, you can see we had quite a bit of buy pressure build up on the CMF here, kind of telegraphed this move, but all in all, it's just a retest of resistance here. So like if I'm on a very short time frame and I'm scalping, like I'm probably taking a short here. The problem is I'm not going to do this live because my invalidation point would be something like 88,852 from here. That's a validation point, and I feel like if other people that are watching, got 172 people watching, high likelihood that trade would get stopped out just because of the amount of wicks you see here that instantly rally up and patient. I will wait for that 10 to 20% breakdown that I'm looking for. That is a more likely scenario than a recovery above 90,000 right now. Like really till we're out of the woods, and really truly don't come back in like a day and when we've rallied over 90,000 and then reject it again and we're back down to 80,000 and be like, you said if we recovered 90,000, we're good. Really, truly, that's true. That's like where the recovery starts. But really, truly, we need to break like 93,000.
Yep.
And it needs to be convincing with volume.
Yep.
Volume would be the key indicator at 90,000. It can rally up there and get rejected still. But even then, we've been rejecting under 90,000. So a step at a time. The first step is recover some of these resistance levels, which isn't happening over and over. And so I think the next logical thing we see for Bitcoin is a breakdown to these lower support levels, which 80,000 is still not broken. It'll bounce off of there, but a more likely scenario is something like 77,000.
Here, you want to hear something from Grandpa over here? This is you Bitcoin Zoomers and your 5-minute charts. The yearly open, right, close, what last year, open.
You can screen share, by the way.
9. Oh yeah, okay, I could just do that. Let me pop that. Will that come through on you too? Okay, yeah. Let's see which one is going to come through on here. Let's find out.
Screen roulette.
Yeah, screen roulette, exactly. Let's see. Oh no, let's just do. Oh, Brave tab window. Let's do this window for right now. No, let's do this.
Yeah, how far can I zoom in on his nostrils while he figures this out?
Wow. Oh no, I can't switch to this though because that'll fuck
Zwift,
up.
dude, you just barely missed the Bitcoin analysis. If you are just, I'm assuming you just tuned into the stream and came into the chat, asked about Bitcoin. Literally about 40 seconds ago, I just ended a full analysis on there. So if you just rewind this VOD a little bit,
yep.
You'll hear me rambling on for about 5 minutes. I don't think it's bottomed, no. To put it short.
Okay.
I'll just, I feel we have some further downside.
I'm just going to do this.
It can bottom and recover here, but I went over the support levels that I want to see before then.
Okay, here we go. So I don't know what's coming through on your side. Let's see what's coming through on my side here.
You're good. I can see TradingView and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I had to switch it again because I realized I was doing something stupid. But all right. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, this should be good. All right. So yearly, right? 93,576. That's where we opened. And that's that same thing you were just talking about, right? Back above 93, right? That's that level. Once we're back above there and we can find some support, it's good to go probably for a while. But until then,
Can you
that you
unskew the chart?
unskew.
It looks so I can see like the rest of the candles.
Oh, no. Um,
Thanks,
no, then
appreciate
it's
that.
like, what? There. All right.
We looked at like we were looking at some decade candles there.
That's right. That's all I look at. I told you, Grandpa over here. This is
Or are you
the.
just zooming in to see the support levels
Yeah,
for
yeah. I'm
those?
just seeing so people can see that because it's going to be
Yeah.
small on screen. So, but it's fine. They can still see this. So you were just saying 20% drop, and funny.
I think locally in the short term, yes.
Sure, yeah,
Any kind of
somewhere.
predictions beyond that, you would assume that 80,000 and 77,000, which are key support levels, would not hold. But I don't think there's anything to indicate those won't hold. We could get more and
So
more bearish headlines,
yeah, and who the
and I
fuck
would
knows? That's the
I would
thing, right?
probably grow that feeling that those won't hold. But
Hmm.
I think if we haven't recovered, just to be clear, 90,000 now, we're not going to do it over these next couple of days, bar a major headline. And so what usually happens when
Yeah.
markets range when, we've been selling, like on the 4 hour there, we have a pretty clear downtrend that we've been living through the last month or so.
Yeah.
So I think the range is just a continuation pattern to the downside. So yeah, most certainly a 10 to 20% drop, and maybe even further if major headline. But I'm not a
So
doomer. I'm
no,
looking at the
yeah.
charts there.
I'm just looking at a very interesting sort of correlation, I guess, to what you're saying. Is I have a fib here from the low of the market back in 22 in January, right? Uh,
Right.
or whenever that was in 22. And then with the recent high for this year up at 126. Well, the .5 fib of that is 70,837, which is almost exactly 20% below where we are. Just interesting.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I could see that happening for sure. It'd be
The
if
yearly
yeah
open was what? What now?
yearly
39,000?
uh yearly open 93,576.
I'm sorry, the prior year.
Prior year open 43 like 40 yeah about 43 42 5
42,284.
yeah
Yeah, I
okay
see it. Yeah, okay.
yeah
Cool.
yeah oh I
Not
would
cool, but
love
yeah. So
46 to
I
get
think
retested. That's
something's
not going to happen in my opinion, but
I think
it's
I think something to take away from this is there's some further downside unless we start to have a recovery here. This is not a bottom.
yeah
Don't let crypto
no
Twitter
no
fool you. This is not a bottom.
I would also tell people
Um,
like expect a lot of volatility around possibly after the yearly close. Like, we could go back up and
yeah.
hit 93 and then come back down here to 85. It's yeah, there's going to be some nonsense.
Yeah. The yearly close also triggers a number of events for
Yep,
people financially that
absolutely.
we will also see in the market here. So
Yeah, so that's just my very long grandpa opinion here. Long-term view of that. But yeah, I just find that interesting. 70,000 I think is a reasonable place if there is more downside. I'd be looking for some bottom around there potentially and upside afterwards, but looking for, not front running.
yeah, I've got
Yeah.
prediction markets pulled up on mine
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
you
Let me
share now. I got off
flip
here.
over and share screen. I just want to see what the
Hmm.
okay. You can see prediction markets, okay, right?
Yeah, I got it. I can see it.
Okay. Yeah, so looking at lighter here, a lot of speculation about lighter and hyperliquid being competitors, but I
Hmm.
think there is a lot of Bitcoin markets here.
Yes.
I think one interesting thing that people are missing is lighter is not not its own chain. They're two different products here. So the
Mm-hmm.
competing aspect of it is perpetuals. Lighter
Mm.
has their own perpetual market. Hyperliquid has their own. BerrieDex has the advantage in the end over everybody, because we have the ability to offer hyperliquid perpetuals, orderly perpetuals, specify a whole bunch of companies decentralized exchanges. Perpetual aggregates are the future. The same thing happened with Spot. This is why
Yeah.
Phantom Wallet is so big, is they aggregated all of your different various DeFi spot locations. And now you can trade perpetuals in Phantom, but it's through Hyperliquid. So there's a clear
Mm-hmm.
trend here that if these wallets don't jump on, exchanges and dexes like BerrieDex will really capitalize on. And that's blending. The same goes for prediction markets that we're looking at here. So Kalshi is another prediction market that we can build on. Again, all fees paid through these prediction markets and perpetuals markets go to Berry stakers.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about perpetuals really quick, and then we will move forward. There will be a couple of perpetual trading competitions, giveaways, things like that.
Ooh.
We should be launching here in the next couple of days. As I mentioned earlier in the stream, I was able to review some trades that went through on this front end. So I think we are getting very close to that. There's a number of events we want to kick off and promote during that time. And so we have some partners. Here, let me switch it over back to our faces for a minute. We'll wrap up here.
Oh yeah.
Let me stop sharing screen. All right. Yeah, so we have a bunch of Campi Pandas. We will be doing competitions for those. We also have some sporting events to give away, and then also our airdrop. The airdrop volume for perpetuals definitely counts, and there will be a big push on that. So stay tuned. Real quick, just going through the chat. I think we're going to sign off here. If you guys have any final questions, let us know. We will be back live tomorrow, or I will be with some other people. Are you available tomorrow, or are you?
Nah, I got a
Oh, it's New Year's
date
Eve. New
date
Year's Eve.
with the lady. She's taking me out somewhere. It's a surprise. I don't know what's happening, so.
All right.
But you guys
I'll
will
be
have
back with
fun.
some of the other fellas for sure. Ed Park, good to see you. Thanks for coming in, man. Swift dude, yeah, just rewind just a little bit from when you tuned in, and you should see the Bitcoin analysis there. All right, that's it. I appreciate all you guys tuning in. Be sure to visit the BerrieDex YouTube. Subscribe there. You will see other members besides myself live. You will see updates from them too on BerrieDex, not just myself. I need to return to just trading. That's what I do. Eventually, I will just be on here live, just doing my thing, guiding you guys. When I say eventually, I mean like next day or so. So
A
we'll get to that.
lifetime for you. That's the.
It's feeling like that. But hey, if you're take a look at our white paper on Berry, you can go over to the wiki, and there's a let me share this real quick.
Oh yeah.
So on the left-hand side on desktop and also on mobile, it is at the bottom, second button in. You can click that little book to the Knowledge Hub here. Nevermore wrote every single word in here. So if you find any errors, direct your hate at him.
Direct them to me. That's right.
Not
That's...
really. Yeah, no, not really. But there is a lot of content here on how to use perpetuals, how to use our cross-chain swaps, how to use staking, how to use all of our services. And this is updated quite often. What you need to know is up here you have beginner, advanced, and pro. And this is pretty unique. I think there's a lot of things to learn, right? But not every person wants to understand how to click, and change, let's say slippage on the swaps, right? A lot of you know how to do that, but a beginner may not, and they need to know that. So based on how knowledgeable you are with crypto, you can kind of look through the wiki from that point of view. Up here, you have beginner, advanced, pro, and it will just kind of change the content of what you're looking at. And you can also just start on like go to using leverage and start on beginner and kind of scroll through there and then advanced and then pro. And the same things with like risk management. You can just learn and go through here. The reason why we're on this page is up here you have the purple paper, which is the Berry paper, the Berry white paper. We are on track with our schedule. Just want to point out that we were looking to have perpetuals live. Oh, looks like the white paper is not good. We'll get that fixed.
You can just go
Internal
to it.
server error.
Yeah, are you in Brave?
Yeah,
Because
we broke
Brave,
something.
yeah, you can just open it separately.
All right, we broke something. Give me 1 second here. Oh, yeah, we broke something. All right, that's probably a good place to wrap it up. We'll go troubleshoot, see what's happening there. But on there, you will find the white paper. You will also find the Bitcoin paper. Can you, Nevermore, do me a favor and visit the site real quick while we sign off here and just see? Tell me
Yeah.
what you see once we get off of this.
Let me open it in.
It might just be a low.
Yeah, which browser were you using?
Chrome.
Okay.
It was working just fine, but I'm getting internal service errors now, but could just be local. So yeah, real quick, the Bitcoin paper's on there and the Berry paper's on there. Follow along. We're following that to a T pretty well. We're even early on a lot of things.
Oops.
Things like prediction markets aren't even in there, and those are coming out soon. Tons of skip frames on my end. Apologize on that. We're getting better, but been live for about 40 minutes. 10 of it was probably warm-up time. So we'll call it good, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll have more updates, more of the group. There is a ton happening on the development side, as I mentioned, with perpetuals and predictions. And so ideally by tomorrow, we have a lot more details to share over. Check the site out for now. Take a look. You can connect to wallet, do things like that. We're on our way. I don't know. You have anything else to add?
No, it's yeah. I mean, it's get on there. If you are not staking Berry yet, you can get Berry through the swap. You can stake it. Everybody's earning rewards. I just collected rewards from my staked Berry actually today, and I can restake that now. So yeah, it's super easy. The new layout for staking is super. It's really clean. I love it. So if you haven't gone over there, same website berr.ie that it's always been, but now everything is centralized. Staking. Yeah, you can go to / staking there. So yeah.
Yeah, there's individual management to what Nevermore was just mentioning on staking sessions. So let's say you stake 100 Berry, and then like a month from now, you stake another 100 Berry. There's obviously a different timer on those rewards. But if you would like at any time to individually manage one, unwind down, you don't have to unstake your whole position.
Yep.
And as we roll out more of our features and get predictions and perpetuals out of the way, we'll introduce native Solana and Ethereum staking also. So you'll be able to stake Ethereum, Solana, Berry, and all on chain, all in your control.
Nice. That's great.
All right. Good place to end it. 135 people watching. I'm seeing my analytics slowly creep back up. I want to see if we can get back to that 1,000 people waiting for me live stream that I used to carry.
Nice.
But we're a few streams in. If you guys are just tuning in today, make sure you turn notifications on. A lot of the times when I put the time I'm going live here on YouTube, it's a guideline. It might be bumped a little bit because I'm trying to get other people on or working through some technical difficulties, or might be working through something else out. Good thing is it's always recorded and you can always come back and watch it. Or if we're waiting for the stream, you can just type in the chat your question and I'll see it and answer it during the stream. But yeah, that's it for now. Thanks, guys. See you tomorrow.
All right. See ya.